everybody? It's your boy Kai Gibson, aka Real Secrets, and we got another banger to be able to drop on y'all inside of this YouTube channel today. I plan on giving y'all 3 things that will completely change the way that you get your business funded in 2024. So that means if you add these 3 things onto your arsenal, you're gonna be a problem when it comes to you going out and actually seeking for funding, whether you're a newly open business or you've had a business that's been existing for just a little minute, right? And these 3 things are going to be what majority of people are missing out on when they begin off trying to be able to actually get a business funded, right? They're starting off setting the business up right, but they really don't know the methods and tactics to be able to actually use to maximize their business funding, even if in situations where you don't have great personal credit, you don't have business credit built, and the income is not yet coming inside of the business, all right? I was going to touch on these 3 top things that will completely change the way that you get your business funded, all right? Before we do, make sure y'all support the channel and make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified every time your boy drops a new video, all right? So let's get straight to it. Number 1, when I'm going out and I have filed the business fully correctly, this is on the YouTube channel, I have a lot of videos describing on how to be able to actually set up your LLC correctly. But what do we do after we've had those steps done? Like, what steps can I take to get me to 50K and above the first time I actually see funding? All right. And the first method I tell people that we need to be able to recognize and understand is going to be credit stacking. All right. If you plan on getting your business funded in 2024 and you do not understand credit stacking, you're missing out on thousands of dollars. All right. Let me tell you exactly why. Okay. The average person decides to be able to go out to one bank and apply for one credit card at one time. And I tell all my people that when we look at all of the banks, majority of people just look at them at their name, right? Like I see Wells Fargo, I see Chase, I see Capital One, but the experts look at the banks for what bureau they actually pull from, right? When you look at the credit bureaus, there's only 3 that all banks use: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience. So these are gonna be the only 3 bureaus that every single bank that you know only communicates and control through. All right, so when I go to Chase and I go out and apply for a credit card, Chase might be pulling from Experience. Or I might go to US Bank, and when I go to US Bank, they might be pulling from TransUnion. 2 different bureaus, right? But all banks are ran and communicate through only these 3 bureaus, right? So the average person goes out to only one bank and applies for one credit card at one time. They limited themselves. The average person probably walk out with over 25K on one business credit card, but they don't realize they missed out on walking out with 75K. Because they simply did not understand credit stacking. And what credit stacking says is hey, listen, I can either choose to be able to approach from one bureau at one time and apply for multiple credit cards from that one bureau. Because one thing I teach my students very quickly is called the 5-second inquiry. This means that it takes 5 seconds from one bank to communicate with the other, all right? So that means if I go out to American Express and I apply for some funding, within 5 seconds, the inquiry hits my credit profile, right? If you're somebody that knows how to be able to squeeze in between those 5 seconds, it's like gold, okay? But it takes 5 seconds. So let's say that we truly understand credit stacking, right? The best way to be able to approach this method is actually starting them 3 different business checking accounts that's going to be pulling from 3 different bureaus. That way there's no communication in between any of these banks at all. So that means when I go over to a bank that pulls from Experience, I might get funded 25K from them. And then I might go over to a bank that pulls from TransUnion, get another 25K. And last but not least, go to Equifax. Now I'm walking out with 75K just by understanding how the banks communicate with each other. All right, this is gonna be the first method that we should be able to learn and understand when it comes to getting our business funded. Now let's get to the second, all right? These are gonna be for my newly open businesses. If you're a newly open business, you filed your LLC within the past 6 months, make sure you drop a fire sign for me down below inside of this video and let me know that, hey, listen, I'm a newly open business. I'm trying to figure out the highs, the whys, the wins, all right? So The best place we can actually be able to approach, or the best move that we can make as a newly open business, is actually only approaching no documentation banks. All right. I see in majority of cases that a lot of people will file a newly open LLC and they'll go out to a bank that requires over 2 years of history from that business to where they're not able to see funding at all. Like they tell them, hey, listen, come back in another 2 years and then we'll consider you for funding. And that's only simply because they are not aware of no documentation banks. See, when I approach a no documentation bank, they say, hey, listen, we welcome your newly open business, right? We don't care if you're a 2-week-old business. We don't care if you've been in business for a month. We will fund your business, no matter what. No documentation is required. They're not going to ask your business for proof of income or tax returns. So now you're being able to skip past the line, past everybody else, all the BS that's on the internet. All right. One of the quickest students that we've been able to get funded that enter inside of the 100K crash course, Rich Secrets University, right? For the people that saying I do need mentorship inside of the live, I need somebody to be able to grab me by my hand and within the next 30 to 60 days, show me how to actually be able to pull out 50 to 100K. That link will be inside the comment section and also inside of the description section for Rich Secrets University. Make sure you guys definitely join. We got an exclusive deal for only the people that go throughout YouTube, all right? So make sure y'all check that out. But when I go to these no documentation banks, not only are they not going to ask me proof of income or tax returns, the quickest student that we've had get funded was a 2-week-old LLC. They came in, got inside of the 100K crash course, and within 2 weeks of opening up their LLC, they went out to Chase and got a 25K business credit card. All right, it was crazy. One of the fastest students we've actually had to be able to get funded. Hopefully one day we pass by that barrier, right? Maybe we can get a week old. Maybe we can try our luck. All right. But the only how they were able to be able to do this is by approaching a no documentation bank, because they didn't care if they were 2 weeks old. They didn't care if they were a month old. It does not matter, because by law, these banks are required to give your business up to 50K without asking for any documentation at all. All right. Now, let's get to the third thing inside of the video, all right? Which this is gonna be 0% interest business credit cards. Everybody that made it to this side, make sure you drop those 0% interests down below. See, everybody wants to be able to talk about going out and getting somebody else's money, right? I wanna be able to go out and get OPM, but nobody is telling y'all that you do not wanna get charged for spending somebody else's money. Like, it's another thing. I can give you $500 right now and say, hey, listen, within the next week, I want you to bring me back $700. Yeah, you let me use your money, but you charge me for spending. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. And the best way to be able to go is going to be 0% interest business credit cards. It's best for investing. It's best for spending on normal day basis, right? An average person either use a personal credit card or a debit card, which at least a personal credit card actually brings you benefits, but a debit card brings nothing. Doesn't bring anything at all, right? Besides taking your money out of your account and not using somebody else's. But this is why I tell my people, when it comes to investing and spending, the personal credit card is not flexible enough. Give you guys a perfect example, all right? If I went out and I got a $30,000 approval on a personal credit card, and one thing I show my students inside of the 100K crash course is how to be able to turn that 30K from credit to cash. So we have it inside of our hand now. The problem comes is when I try to invest that $30,000 is that personal credit card says, hey, listen, we gonna need that back in the next 30 days. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know about y'all, but anybody can pull a LeBron James trick out of their hat or something like that, maybe can pull that off, right? I give you $30,000 and I tell you, hey, listen, I'm gonna charge you $1,000 a day and you bring me the whole $30,000 back. You gotta really be busting moves for that, right? Now, something that is more flexible than that personal credit card is gonna be a 0% interest business credit card, right? We take that same scenario, a $30,000 approval on this business credit card, and I turn that credit into cash. Now, when I invest this money from the business credit card, this is what it says. Hey, listen, you can take that whole $30,000 off of this card, but you know what? In order for you to stay in positive standing, all I'm gonna need back is $340 a month. Is that not a big difference? Is that a big difference from me actually getting $30,000 and have to pay it back in full within the next 30 days versus me taking the same $30,000 off and me only having to be able to pay 1% to 1.5% back? That's a game changer. See, now we're flexible enough to be able to invest. Now we're flexible enough to be able to spend. And a lot of these 0% interest business credit cards come with a lot of other bonuses and points that will eventually be able to help you out on down the line when it comes to hotels, feeding yourself, a lot of different rewards they actually come with and benefits, all right? But these are gonna be the top 3 things that will be able to completely change the way you get yourself funded in 2024, all right? If you have not yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and until next time, it's your boy, Kai Gibson, AKA Rich Secrets. And we out, YouTube.